Hey guys, and welcome to our latest video. Today, I'm going to be taking you through our buyer's guide for Warhammer Underworlds. I know when I started playing Warhammer Underworlds, I kind of felt a bit put off by the amount of different purchase decisions you have to make to get into the game. Hopefully with this, I'm going to be able to lead you down the right path so you make all the smart purchases and get the most bang for your buck. Anyway, let's get started. My first piece of advice is for those gamers that consider themselves board game players. Maybe you've got a large collection of board games, you've seen a few videos of Warhammer Underworlds, you want to give it a bit of a go, but you don't want to go too deep. You want to have this box that sort of lives on your shelf, you can pull it out whenever you want and have a bit of a go and enjoy the game. I recommend this box here. This is the Warhammer Underworlds Start Box. You get 2 warbands, you get everything you need to play a simple game, Warhammer Underworlds. Both decks are pretty solid, it's very basic and easy to understand. Pick this up if you just want to pop it on your shelf, pull it out whenever you want, and have a great, fantastic game. My next advice is going to be for those gamers out there that have some friends that are interested in getting into Warhammer Underworlds, and they are as well. Now, this group of friends probably doesn't own anything, maybe they've got experience with some war games, maybe some card games, whatever background you're from. Before you buy anything, start with some basic rules with each other, because Warhammer Underworlds is best enjoyed when all of you have a similar amount of access to products. If someone has access to every card, and you've only got a small collection, it won't be as fun for you when you play against them because they'll have a distinct advantage. What I would say if you're starting out with a group, this is my recommendation, you can all decide based on your own spending habits and whatever you want to invest there. I would recommend starting out with the Diachasm box set. For starters, I'd pick up the Essential card pack. As well as that, I would find a warband that you resonate with, something you want to play and pick that up as well. Now, if you do like Beastgrave, if some of the warbands in this box suit you, you can grab this one instead. Same with the starter set box. You can grab either of these if you really like the warbands, but if you don't care too much for the warbands, this is what you want. There's a bit of a bundle there that you'll be able to take into your games, do some deck building, get some customization with your own sort of style across by having your own warband that you can use to exert your personality. And with that, you'll be able to have some fun games. Now, once you're at that stage and you're having fun, you can all agree as in a group, hey, let's go and buy another warband, let's go and do this. And if you're all keeping relatively even with each other, you should be able to have some great games and have a great meta. My next piece of advice is probably for the majority of people watching this video and what this is kind of aimed to target. And that's those people out there that are maybe interested in getting into Warhammer Underworlds or already play it and just dip their toe in and are wanting to know, what do I get next? Maybe you've got a large group of gamers that own all sorts of levels of product. Maybe you've got a guy that has everything and a guy that's only got the starter box or something like that. And you want to start growing your collection so you can be more competitive and you want to know, what do I spend my money on? What's the best bang for my buck? Well, for starters, if you're just starting out in this space, my recommendation from the last set, start with your Diachasm box, then pick up a warband you want and an Essentials card pack. Now, where you go from there is really up to you. I would say focus on getting warbands that are from Diachasm. They'll last you the longest. The cards in those packs will last you 2 years, or at least 1.5 years from the time now until they go out of rotation. And the warbands themselves are all very good. So I'd recommend looking at the warbands in the Diachasm set, deciding what you want from that. Now, the Beastgrave warbands are a bit of an interesting question. With the recent changes with the Mollog nerf, Games Workshop have kind of given the impression that they want to sort of take warbands that are very strong but are not able to be purchased and take them down a few notches, which is perfectly fair. It keeps the playing field level. If you don't own Mollog right now or before the changes, maybe it was a bit tough for you. So with that in mind, I actually wouldn't recommend getting anything from Beastgrave unless you really love the style of the warband. Now, if you don't think that's going to be a thing, if you think that, oh, maybe they aren't going to keep nerfing them, the 2 warbands or 3 warbands I recommend picking up from Beastgrave before they go out of rotation are going to be Morgox, Rippers, and Grimwatch. They're the 3 strongest. If you're concerned about like running out of power, grab those 3. They'll cover you against everything from Beastgrave, and don't worry about much else from that season unless you really love it. But my advice is stick with Diachasm, get this box set, it's great. Get the Essentials card pack, it's really good. Buy some warbands. And the final thing there is the Silent Menace card pack is another interesting choice. You don't get a warband with it, but a lot of those cards are really good. So once you've got a decent collection under your belt, you've got a lot of warbands that you really enjoy playing, and you're not getting sick of them yet, it might be time to pick that up and really boost the power and effectiveness of your Underworlds decks. And finally, the group of people out there that want to win tournaments. Yes, there's quite a few of you out there. I'm actually one of them. And my recommendation for you guys is very simple, and that is buy everything. If you want to be competitive at a top level, you need to own everything at a top level. Now, there's a bit interesting point right now where in July, almost August in 2021, in a few months' time, the Beastgrave boxes and Beastgrave cards are going to go out of rotation. So if you're just starting out now and you want to be a tournament player, you have a decision to make. And that is, one, buy everything now. Or two, if you are happy to wait until the end of the year before you really want to start winning events, you can skip a lot of Beastgrave. Focus on getting your Diachasm stuff up, and when they release new warbands for the next season, Season 5, pick those up as well. From Beastgrave, my earlier recommendation sticks. If you're really concerned with power, get Morgox, Rippers, and Grimwatch. They're the 3 great warbands from Beastgrave, and they'll tie you over. If you have those 3 and they don't get nerfed at the end of the season, which might or might not happen, they'll tie you through quite well. But all the Diachasm warbands are fantastic. You'll be able to win events with them, absolutely no problem at all. One additional point, and that is all the optional extras there are in Warhammer Underworlds. These are things like dice and like tokens and like carry trays. With these, I would recommend playing Underworlds a bit first and only buying them when you kind of think you need them. Let's say you have trouble with some of your warbands and tracking things, and you kind of want to get some war tokens for your Morgox because there's so many tokens running around on your cards. Well, then pick up the token pack then. If you don't like the dice, if they're doing you dirty, maybe you get a new pack of dice, or maybe you just like the flamboyance of the colors of the new ones. Those extras I cannot really encourage you to buy unless you just really want them. They're a personal choice and a personal taste, and you don't need them for tournaments. Everything you get inside this box is what you need to play. Everything that is not a card or a model on top of that is just an optional extra. So that's really up to you and what you want to buy. Anyway, that's everything for me this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Now, this week I've taught you a lot about how to buy things, but then how do you make clever decks? Well, I'm gonna go over that next week. A lot of deck building out there is all focused on the top level. I've got every card in the game, but how do you build when you've only got a box and a warband? How do you make a coherent deck? Well, that's gonna be next week's topic. It's gonna be a bit in depth, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I know it sounds lame, but I gotta say it. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.